So just to orient you, there's a chicken coop kind of in the roughly the center of my property, and this is the edge of my property. So all the water actually comes down here, which leaves this area drier, but my walkways, especially in the center part, it all kind of comes to a bowl. It's not exactly evident right now just looking at it, but actually walking around and staring at the ground, because you want to watch where you're walking, you can see that there's water pooling up. And it's an interesting thing because obviously if you've dug holes like to remove maple trees in the fall, water will pool there, but that's not exactly what we're looking for. Trying to see where water collects along normal pathways. We know that's a depression there, so not a big surprise. But if we look at areas like this where we have plantings, we have an apple tree that has not lived, and then right next to it we see that water is pooling there. Actually right here. Some might drain off in a day or so and not really harm anything. You see there's a tulip bulb that's doing just fine. There's a hascap bush that's doing just fine. Some strawberries. We have a bunch of other things. There's a black walnut. We have some sorrel here. It's already growing. Happily, a little wood chipped area there. But as we go through, this area becomes a major depression, and there's a whole lot of standing water here on this whole area. So things like this elderberry have struggled. There's an apple straight ahead that struggled. And actually in the springtime, I actually planted a bunch of stuff in here during this time, and I probably should have not done that because I was actually planting into standing water just like that. It was a kind of a dumb move, but I was being, I don't know, stubborn and bullheaded, and figured the water would drain off fast enough, but I had a number of things that just didn't make it because of that. So as we follow through, this is a low spot for the whole property, and the drain is actually over there, and it goes to a stream on the other side of the road, which is a problem. I almost need to create some sort of channel or some way for that water to go, because I don't mind the water coming through the property, but I do mind having my freshly planted blueberry bushes drowning for a couple of weeks here in the spring. So I gotta walk through this, and my feet are cold and wet now. But so I guess what I'm getting at is during extreme times of the year, especially the spring, when there's exceptional rainfall wherever you're at, it's good to know where your water settles, because it's okay if it pools in a depression, but if it settles in an area and it's the last thing to drain off, there could be standing water wherever you're planting for weeks. I don't expect that walkway to be draining out in the next few days at least. If it rains one more time, it's just going to fill back up again. So as I've been walking around trying to see how water's collecting at different parts of my property, I've actually been pretty well pleased, because it's only that one spot that seems to have collected any water. Like even this peach tree where the actual water shutoff and all that isn't collecting too much water. And it seems like this whole area around here has enough drainage, and I hope you can see it kind of on. It does slope down. If you kind of take a long view of things, everything is sloping towards me, it appears, and definitely slopes down here, but then it kind of goes up, and then it goes up to the road. So if you kind of imagine all the water from way down there is all coming down here, and it's bordered in by the road, and then the alleyways and stuff that are on the other side, so it's all just kind of funneling in here. And it really is all joining at that one area I was telling you about that I mistakenly planted all those trees. And that's why areas like this, which are in a little depression, don't seem to have collected as much water Yeah, because even in here, I don't see any real standing water. I do need to be careful because I plant things randomly. I should be able to tell if there's a, yeah, there really is no standing water in there. You see I think apple, and then actually I think that's 2 apples there. But without the tags, I can't remember them all. So. But it is good to see that other than some pathways, even this area is pretty good. Maybe some collection there in that pathway over to there. However, it's just this right over here. Oh, pause for the birdies. Hi birdies, how are you? Hi Lucy birds. Did you eat your hyacinth? Did you eat your hyacinth? Nope. You don't like hyacinth? Okay. So anyways, the only real major area that I have that is trouble, which if I just plant around I wouldn't have to do any major earthworks, is this right here. So there's a big depression there where a tree used to be or something. So that's okay. It might actually be the site of a pond later. But all of this, including those blueberry bushes, and this whole kind of swath right here, just end up absorbing and holding way too much water. And that is a little bit, yeah, this is all standing water here. This is more of a swamp than anything. Now, like I said, a lot of this could run off the next day or two. It is still sprinkling right now. Probably about to rain full force as I'm recording. But it is definitely an important thing to do, is to check your property, see how water runs through it, on top of checking, you know, landmarks and sunlight and all these other things that travel across your property, just to see what are the best places to plant. I mean, if you like plants that really like wet feet, you could plant them, say, right here in my small swamp. And if you have trees that really don't like that, you could plant them on the upside of a depression like I have here. So I've got to get back inside. My feet are pretty cold and my glasses are now getting rained on, so yeah, it's picking up. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye bye.